What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 3 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Golgfag Maneater Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, after the Fecondites, next on the menu were the Slaneshi at the Tower of Praag. Azazel fell in a foolish attempt at an underway interception of our underway stance, or all-consuming tunneling stance. Did I just say tunnels, stomachs plus tunnels? All-consuming stomachs tunneling stance, and then lost the Tower of Praag. Of course, he does still have his little vassal here, the Sorrel, but it's not like we really care about them, and we probably won't bother dealing with them unless we head back up north. But now is not the time to do that, because our contract is essentially concluded with the Brotherhood of the Bear. We could go up and deal with the Sorrel, but instead what we're going to do is go for complete the contract and grab all this nice cash and meat that we certainly want. Like so. And there we go. They should be reasonably happy with that. Plus, this enables us to continue war with the client's enemies, make peace with the client's enemies. You know what? Let's just make peace with them. We'll destroy them later if we need to. Probably not going to send anybody up there right now, so make peace. Then we'll go into mercenary contracts again and accept this one, the Clan Molder one. We could also maybe even take the Hell Pit for ourselves and hold on to it. Not sure. I wonder if it has any kind of buildings for us. Either way, we got decent rewards here, and Throth the Unclean has a great defeat trait specifically for our kind of lords, so accept the contract. And there we go. Ooh, another one of these. A company of grizzled Kislevite veterans has delivered an offer from their masters. The mercenaries are intrigued by the Kislevites' scars and missing limbs. The chief perpetrator seems to be Frostbite, but also too many desperate battles for these leather-skinned men to count on their slightly fingerless hands. Alright, and okay, we can't move this turn, but that's fine. The other thing I want to do before moving on to the next turn is there was a good-looking butcher lord, or Slaughtermaster Lord, and that we should probably hire. This Slaughtermaster has tough and melee defense, and I think it's probably worth our time to get that going. Plus 20% meat gain from battles is pretty decent as well. Just to take a quick look at what we have here, we've seen Maw Preacher and Farter before, Determined is kind of meh. Yeah, I'm gonna go with tough, especially since the Slaughtermasters are gonna be weaker lords. There was a little bit of a discussion in the comments between whether it would be better for the nobler army to be led by the Ogre Paymaster or not. And there was a suggestion to put the beasts in the hands of one of these guys, so that's probably what we'll do. Though I would like to take a look at what you got in terms of your big name. Income from raiding, groundbreaker explosion ability, big bellower, battle reinforcements, magical attacks, nothing crazy. The thing we really need to look out for is that unbreakable trait for Nobblers. That's the main thing, but we don't have it on any of our lords currently. I'm hoping that it's not only tyrants that get it, because if it is, then we won't be able to do too much with it. In fact, what we could do... Aggressive and Weapon Master. I was about to say we could mill a few tyrants and see if we can't pop one up with decent big names, but anyway. Our meat is spent. Our gold, however, is not quite. We could do a little bit of global recruitment. We got 2 turns on you guys. And just get a few more things in Northern Camp. On the other hand, you know what? It's fine for now. It's fine for now. Screw it. Let's end the turn. Let's proceed with doing what we're doing. And head out to Fort Stroghoff and kill us and eat us some nice rats. I wonder how effective Warpstone is on the Ogres. Castleton, military access, no. Somebody in the comments of the previous episode pointed out that of all of the trade goods that are available to us, the pottery in particular offers us an additional camp, +1 camp. So it is there is potential for taking out Erengrad just for that. There isn't a crazy amount of pottery in this part of the map, so certainly something to think about. Anyway, you're gonna go into tunneling stance. Fort Stroghoff is next on the menu. We're gonna pop into our friendly-ish territory right here. And technology researched, campaign line of sight. That should be a little bit helpful. And magic item drop chance. Nice. Squatters' rights. Capture and occupy the following settlement: Krakadrak, and capture and occupy Grungzint. Are you crazy? That's way too far. And yes, I know that we could teleport over there, but, Marienburg's under siege. Probably not what we're going to do at the current time. There's no defeat traits out here that we want. I mean, there is Bella the Ball for Bellacore, but we need somebody to actually... Oh, that was a bounty anyway. Ooh, hello, what do we have? Oh, wow. I got excited about seeing the ancillary, and it's basically nothing. Tons of cash and tons of money for this, huh? Sylvania might be next on the menu, boys. Alright, well, certainly something to consider. Anyway, let's see. First of all, do we have our next camp up and running? 2 more turns. Damn, I'd really like to get that going. But oh well. I think since Blout here is most likely to be taking the beasts, we'll maybe get some more Nobblers going for Gaunt. You, Butcher of Beasts, I want to see what your big names are. Oh, right, you have the Devastating Flanker for Gorger units. A Butcher and... You know what? Okay, we're gonna keep you. I know it's not necessary to have 2 magic users in one army, but... And we might separate them later. I would hate to waste the whole Gorger Devastating Flanker on an army that wouldn't have Gorgers, but it's perfectly reasonable to put Gorgers in a Beast army potentially. Or, wait, or maybe we don't do that. You know what, we could separate them into 2 armies later. Because I'm now thinking that Beasts could be just Beasts. Saber-tusks, Hunters, Blood Vultures, and then 3 kinds of Stone Horns. Of various kinds. Maybe Iron Blasters or something? I'll think about it. That's probably the way we'll do it. Anyway, let's do some quick recruiting. I want to get into the next battle ASAP. Okay, nothing new as yet, but we're working on it. Gaunt has got 1 more turn until he's ready to go. Or until he's ready to transfer to Blout, and Blout can move southward. Also decent to have him find Scrag. But I gotta build this thing up. Alright, Norden Camp. Let's get you some basic man-eaters. I just want some more powerful stuff in here so that it can defend itself if it comes down to it. Maybe get rid of 2 more Nobblers and replace them with... I was about to say Saber-tusks, but we could just get more super elite units in here. And make the camp unkillable, essentially. But stay here for a turn, don't bother doing anything, just stand in camp stands and... Yeah. Just gotta make sure that the camp isn't sieging. Next up, or raiding rather. Next up, technologies. We were potentially going to go for the Butchers and the Hunters capacities. I think there's a few other really good things that we want to keep an eye on. I do like the attrition reduction. Camps are up here. There was something in Hordes that was really nice. This. Tribal Tribute. Upkeep reduction for all Ogre and Cav units. Oh. 23 turns to get to that? Yeah, that's not going to happen. At least it's not going to happen right now. Is there anything here that's... Oh. Okay, Tyrannical Trainers, Feral Rage removed from Saber-tusk pack. Okay, so they've transferred this into a technology rather than a hunter's skill, which is what it used to be. All right, well, it's good to know that we have that now. And I don't think anything here is going to be super important. Casualty punishment rate +5. That's actually decent. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go towards the Saber-tusk thing. I like the idea. Plus, we can go through it and then get upgrades for Gorgers and stuff as well. Yeah, alright, I like that. And I believe we're good to go to another turn, assuming we don't want to abandon any of the bounties. Obsidian Blade's not bad. Do we... Yeah, we do have a contract with the Black Pit tribe to attack Kuran, but I think Sylvania might be the better pick. Especially because we have a big name for Golgi to attack Sylvania, or not for Golgi, for one of his guys to attack the Vampire Counts, and the Moots down there. I don't want to see what's going on down there. So yeah, we're going to ask for a new one. Issuer Black Pit Tribe will reset you. And I don't know about Crackadrag, but, well, it's a possibility. Skip, 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 and turn. Alright, now I assume there's a giant pile of rats at Fort Straghoff. We should also look into trading the Tower of Crack away to, I don't know, somebody. Maybe for money, maybe for, well... We can't get meat from trading, so... I mean, I guess they're not going to trade their own units. Render Camp, Razorsack Middenheim. Or Lorelorn. I mean, no, I once again, I really just strongly don't want to chase the beastmen around. The Negotiator. Your henchman drag an unusually lucid gorger before you. Unlike its solitude-maddened kin, the elephantine's sinewy horror will obey basic commands. This proves particularly useful during contract negotiations. A mere snap of the fingers will see the other party's head torn from their shoulders. A superior rate is thus guaranteed. Alright, faction destroy the Sarl, and we didn't have to do anything about them. Trading places establish a trade agreement. We got, bounty. You know what, I'm gonna reset the Lorelorn one again. The game really wants us to go after Kazarak, like, a lot. Anyway, you're gonna go into Fort Stragov now. And there's nobody there. Alright, I'll resolve. A little bit of damage, but nothing to be concerned about. We could, I guess, give it to the Orthodoxy. Not like we can do anything with it. Raising and sacking is useless. Give it to the Orthodoxy. And are we in range of Fortress Strask? No, we are not. Alright, fine. You go into raiding stance. I was hoping raiding stance would enable us to get right to the enemy territory. Actually, it still could. Go right here. Oh, but... Ooh, hello. Rat armies. Wait. Ambush stance. And then return here to increase your healing. If they don't know that we're here, they might attempt to go after Fort Stragov. Ooh, 3 armies. Oh, that'll be great if they actually fight us. Brawler Guts Thrug Fingateka has unlocked himself a new trait. Campfire Storyteller. Oh, now we get the Seduce reductions. And another Gutmaw. Hero becomes legend. Win 10 battles with any single hero. Alright, so that's 2 Gutmaws. I guess we're gonna give the other one to the Bruiser as well. Everybody gets, everybody should have a Gutmaw. Just like in real life. And what did that give you? Oh, I guess that was Rat Killer. Immunity to flanking. Kind of probably not super relevant on a Butcher, or Bruiser rather. Ward save 5% for accompanying a Lord versus buffs for you personally. On the one hand, I do like the fact that you already have plus 15 armor, and plus 15 armor we can get even more armor. I'm gonna hold off on it and get healthy appetite for now. You have this stuff maxed out, and I guess you can get greater girth. We still don't have enough man-eaters to actually benefit from their stuff. Alright, so you stay in ambush. What about you guys? You ready to go now? Ooh, we are ready to upgrade some of this stuff. Oh, look at that. Wait. First, double check the camp guy, whatever his name was. You. Okay, you already have Beta Campen maxed out. Master of Meat is probably something that we really want to look into. So let's go for Master of Meat, double it up. Not going to be useful yet, but soonish. Then, Great Mossite, 8 turns. Yes to Iron Blasters. We now have access to Yetis and Gorgers, very nice. And I guess we're going to need to transfer some more meat. Actually, you know what? Gaunt here has a lot of meat that he's not using. Go to Norden Camp. Lose like this much. Yes. And Golgi transfer, I don't know. Much. Alright, then keep upgrading everything. Bounty Hut and Pig Feast Tent, and yes, okay, this is the thing that we've been waiting for. Man-eaters and Golgi's man-eaters. And Stonehorns as well, that'll help with the Beast Army. I'm kind of thinking I don't want to send the Beast Army so far that it can't recruit new stuff. Oh, we got some good stuff available to us now. Alright, I slightly changed my mind. We are going to... Wait.
Get it done.
We got Bruisers available now. Ooh, Flabby. Oh, there's a Flabby Hunter as well. Okay, now we'll take the Flabby Hunter. Unit mass plus 15%. For a Stonehorn. Although I guess it already has so much mass. Maybe Strong is the better pick. I think they're both good options. Also Butchers. Okay, no new Butchers. Yeah, let's double up on Flabby. Flabby one. And... okay, if I can just... Flabby two. Can't go wrong with Flabby. More mass. And I want to see if this got milled. Deboner for Tyrant. Melee attack plus 4 for Lords and Embedded Heroes. Maybe. Alright, let's get you on field. I want to see if you have that Nobbler trait. And then we'll get him off field immediately if he has nothing useful. Actually, first of all, what do you have? Is there anything here that would make Nobblers better than a Paymaster would make them? It doesn't look like it. You also don't have the... You don't have any of the traits that he offers, because obviously you're not as much as a support lord. Yeah, nothing here is super useful. What do we have here? Death Cheater, passive ability for you. Arse-belcher. Yeah, this is all kind of meh. I do like Deboner. We might bring you back later. Drunk Bat. But for now, you're not needed. Yeah, alright. I'm not gonna pay the supply line stuff for him. So I guess we can upgrade you. Alright, next up, I gotta deal with this stuff. Not Norden Camp, but Gaunt here. You're going to transfer all of you guys. And... you know what? Take Crud back. I changed my mind about that. And then Blout, you're ready to move. Oh, you are missing one unit. You could probably use a second hunter. Actually, wait, you know what? Let's double check what the big names of these guys are. Black Powder aplenty for Lead Belchers, all units and army on Krog the Bruiser. Belly Slapper. Okay, so this guy is gonna go into our ranged army. I mean, I was gonna put a couple of Lead Belchers into our main stack, so maybe we could still at least level you by keeping you in our main stack. Oh, I really like the way the bruisers look with all that armor, too. Alright, so you're gonna go to the main stack. What about the hunter? Also, Flabby, what do you have? Stalk, Snipe, Guardian, Belly Slapper, and, well, nothing crazy. So yeah, we're gonna pop you into Blout's army. Double up on the hunters with that Slaughtermaster, and he's gonna go find Scrag. Alright, next up, Trollheim Mountains. We're not gonna upgrade you. We've done our ambush. Let's end the turn. It took a little bit too long. And let's hope some of the rats fall for this. Alright, Castalton is here. Oh, don't tell me the rats are gonna be too afraid to go for... Ah! Okay, they moved somewhere. I'm not sure where, but, well, we're getting there. Let's hope that they're all here at Fort Ostrosk. And, ooh, wait, we can do the camp now, can we not? Cannot deploy camp too close. Bounty issued. Take mid. Okay, game. Why do you keep... Okay, I think what's happening here is that the game is recognizing that Brass Keep is near to stuff, and it keeps giving us bounties due to proximity. Not 100% sure on it, but they're really into that. Re-bounty was something more useful, nonetheless. Alright, then... You. Golgi. And Butcher. Let us get you... You know what, if we're gonna be fighting rats, let's get you Windblast as well. Let's see if they're all here. Are you gonna run? You're not gonna run? What do we have here? Morlock, we have Seepcritch, and we have a Settlement Garrison. I see no Throat. Alright. Well, either way, I love fighting massive hordes of rats, so this is gonna be a grand old time. Go.
What you do for a living? Killing!
Alrighty, here we go. Big old pile of rats, and I imagine it's going to be a pretty darn fun fight. Though unfortunately, Golgi does whiff on his first Deadeye shot, missing the Grey Seer, but he'll barrel through those rats, or at least a decent amount of them. Annoyed that they stopped him in his tracks, he'll bash and slash and whatever, and then continue running towards that Grey Seer, while the rest of our army moves towards the first of the rat hordes. There are 2 rat hordes coming in as reinforcements, so we're looking to try and destroy the majority of this first one before they get there, especially considering that this will probably be the only time we really have to chase all of these rats down, so we gotta break them, and we gotta chase them down and kill them to inflict massive casualties. There we go, Ogres using their mass to just rush through the rats directly and head for the ranged rats in the background as well. Golgi chasing down that enemy Grey Seer, who's down to about half HP over in the background, and it looks like most of this enemy army, well, let's say 2/3 of this enemy army, is engaged. Grey Seer probably only gonna take a few more hits before he goes down. Although I don't know whether Golgi can chase it down due to the scurry away speed buff. Alright, and our Saber Tusks are working in the background. Saber Tusks going specifically for, once again, the Skaven Slave Slingers. They don't do a lot of damage, but they are still very much threatening to Ogre Bulls. You gotta remember, Ogre Bulls are basic and very fragile. They only cost like 100 or whatever upkeep as well. And they will absolutely take a massive amount of damage, even from Skaven Slave Slingers, if you let them. Of course, the AI is generally not so great at taking advantage of fast-moving armies or of fighting fast-moving armies, so it's still going to struggle even against basic Ogre armies, but nonetheless. And that's especially true with the Skaven. Anyway, speaking of the Skaven, the first of the enemy armies is broken after about 2 minutes of pitched fighting, and right as they run, the second army makes its way onto the field. Not the entire army, of course, because there are more than 40 units on the field, so at least a few will remain as additional reinforcements. They're going to take some time to get to us, however, so we are going to give chase to every single thing we can. Oh. Still a little bit of fighting going on here. I think this is a summoned clan rat unit from the menace below. Alright, rats still going flying. And it looks like the summoned clan rats are out of there as well. Alright, let's speed this up a little bit while we give chase and while the enemy regroups. We're also going to reform a little bit while Golgi rushes towards the second enemy lord, who I believe is another Grey Seer. Also Grey Seer of Plague. Actually, we kind of really lucked out that the enemy decided to build 2 Grey Seers of Plague here, as the Warp Lightning is going to be a lot more threatening to Ogre Bulls than the Pestilent Breath is. Alright, Grey Seer is confident. Probably won't be so for too much longer, however. Anyway, this is probably going to be the tougher portion of the battle as the enemy moves on to the field, and there are a little bit more elite units here as well. But it's just a matter of A, sheer numbers, and B, the fact that our army is very much spread out, still chasing enemy units down. It's the big thing with fighting Skaven, after all. A little bit of action in the tree line as well, as the enemy attempts to flank us with, well, droves of rats, as they do. And decently successfully, simply because, once again, this is like a third of our army, maybe even a quarter of our army, while the rest still give chase. The problem is, if we don't chase down as many as we can, the rats are so fast that they'll all just escape off field, and then, yeah. Oh, Comet of Cassandora here would have been perfect, but we'll settle for an Uranon's Thunderbolt. Sure, doing a decent little bit of damage, 223 kills and 20k damage on our Slaughter Masters so far, or Butcher rather, so far. Our units of Lead Belchers firing in the background have racked up a solid 470 kills already, and it looks like with more of our units regrouping, abandoning the chase, they are able to start getting a little bit more into the mainline combat here. Still a few units in the chase. We got an Ogre unit as well as our 2 Saber Tusks, another Ogre unit back there, so still a quarter of our army. But what we have left is probably more than enough to deal with the rats that are, well, everywhere. It's really appropriate to be fighting multiple Skaven stacks at once. It just feels right. The Skaven should have just an insane amount of units on field at once. Getting a little bit in the way of frame drops here, though, a little bit of lag from my PC. It does have a tendency to have a hard time handling a massive amount of units on screen. Toughest unit that the enemy has is a unit of Storm Vermin with Halberds, which they have finally brought onto the field. We are going to debuff them, however, with that Curse of the Midnight Wind, taking their melee attack to... Wait, that's not them. Taking their melee attack to a 9, which should mean that even the Ogre Bull should be able to hold against them. I think without the debuff, the regular Ogre Bulls would get destroyed by a unit of Storm Vermin with Halberds. At least as long as the Storm Vermin aren't surrounded. Looks like they're running, though, and with them the rest of the army will book it on out of there as well. Very nice. Very nice. Golgi took care of all the enemy lords out here, sending a few of those nobblers flying, as well as the rats. To be fair, from all the way up there, they may be a little bit hard to tell apart, or running around the ogre's feet as they do. Anyway, we're gonna give chase as much as we can, so it's gonna take a little while, but we'll do the rest off screen. Man, you gotta love fighting Skaven. Everybody hovering between 200 and 300 kills. They brought 8,000-ish, literally 10 times our number here, of rats. And I do have to wonder, do the ogres like fighting rats, or do they not like them? On the one hand, that's just an infinite number of food. On the other hand, the rats are quite small, so, But I guess quantity is a quality of its own, and the ogres can hardly be called picky eaters, so I'm sure they had a great time. Anyway, we're gonna probably auto-resolve, so we're gonna eat the captives, I think. Bad Throt wasn't here. Where is he? No, okay, that's Arcstorm. Damn you, Arcstorm. We are too close. Okay, wait. Let me just check here. If you move here... You're probably still gonna be too close to the camp, aren't you? Alright, fine. Go here. I just want to see whether the camp is buildable right now. And it is. Okay, I should have actually used it for that fight. Alright, wait. So you still have movement range. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna siege, then you're gonna break siege. Then we need to make sure that you have... I want to set up a camp like... Here, wait. If we back up too far, we won't be able to get back to the thing. Try here. Still too far? It's just at the edge. Yeah, screwed that up, but maybe a teensy bit more. I just want the bonus offered by the camp from the auto-resolve. Teensy bit like so. Okay, that is just enough. Okay, beautiful. Camp, deploy, or redeploy, yes? You have... Oh, you don't have much in your... I guess we'll have to sack a Strosk then? Probably. Oh. It does reach Help It. That's nice. It won't reach anything else by the looks of it, but that's okay. Yeah, I really should have built more stuff here. Do I can't put regiments of renown in it? Anyway, put some Ogre Bulls in here. Skaven revealed and come from buildings. Yeti Wrangler campaign movement range. Hello. Let's get to you. Oh, you already have one. Then let's get to you, Blout, with the Yeti Wrangler. Like so. Then we need to continue recruiting. God here. Let's get you some... I'm gonna say start with some Yetis, some Gorgers, some Giants. That is like a sort of beastly humanoid type of deal. Yeah. Oh. We have Iron Guts as well. I should probably put some of them into this camp. You two can move now as well. Krog the Bruiser, no. Groth the Hunter. Both of you are going to move into Blout's army. And these guys are all here temporarily. They're going to be replaced by Stonehorns and other beastly things. Asp Bow is probably better on a Hunter once it levels up sufficiently, but we don't have access to that as of yet. Next, I want to see if we got... okay, we got a Fire Belly available to us. Cunning, poison attacks, more disciplined. Wait, I forget now. You're strong. The Paymaster is disciplined, so we could go disciplined out. I think one of these hunters was disciplined as well, yeah. I had originally put him in that army, but okay, that's fine, that's fine. Let's go for another disciplined one. Oh, well, the armor would be decent on you as well, but I'd still think I would prefer a army full buff. Also, out of curiosity, you don't buff lead belchers or anything like that, do you? Not really fire per se, but enables burnt contact effect, reduced leadership. You'd actually be very solid against both Skaven and the Undead, both of which we are liable to keep fighting for a little while. Also, what are your big names? Nobbler Kicker. Unbreakable to Nobbler... Oh! It's been nerfed. It's been nerfed significantly. But it's interesting that it's available on heroes now. It is... It's only a 35-meter range, which is tiny. Okay, so we need multiple heroes, I guess, with Nobbler Kicker. I'm not so sure about that. And you, my friend, I believe I said we were going to put into our main stack. Ooh, and maybe you can find a hero to assassinate. We still have that assassinate a hero mission to get Praag the Gutsman. And we haven't spotted any heroes near us at all, which is just... game. Come on now. We'll get there. Who else needs leveling here? You have leveled up to level 10s. Get your Master of Meat. And I think Grout just started with a level, so he doesn't really need it. Alright, and Blout, keep moving, and let's just get you the Root Marcher, though. And you two, you guys have increased mobility, so we're gonna get you those as well. Alright, beautiful. Let's go down through the moat and find everybody else. Next up, we're going to go to Fort Strask with Golgi. I think so. And yeah, there's no need to fight this again. Auto-resolve it. That was quite a bit of damage, but hopefully with the camp deployed, we're fine. I guess we gift it to client. We do still need to complete this contract. I'm thinking about sacking or raising it, but frankly the rewards aren't anything crazy anyway, and the contract will offer us better rewards anyway. Then you're going to go into ambush stance, right beside the camp. So they don't know that we're here, and we'll see how they react to all this. Gold Sigil Sword, a Sapper, a Ratcatcher for Golgi, Amblepeak Greybacks. Nice. Another regiment for now. Let's also start upgrading this camp. And you're already building. We need the Nobbler building here, because we're going to get the third, I guess, Nobbler army up and running. Guess we're going 3rd and 4th armies real quick. I was gonna keep an eye out on Tyrants and anybody else that has good stuff, although we might as well just use that other one. It feels like the Ogre Paymaster, despite being a lower cost than the Slaughter Master, might be the superior lord just because of the significant buffs that it offers the army. And we can always use bruisers to, well, fight jerks. Anyway, keep moving, and I do believe that's all we gotta do, right? The turns are relatively short still. I'm just still used to having a ton of admin from previous campaigns. We also do have levels for you. I guess we could get you Beast Eaters for those Man-Eaters. We will have access to them in a couple of turns after all, so I guess it does make sense. Brawler Guts Oko Iron Belly. You can go for Meat Cleaver, I guess. Unless there's something in here that would be really nice. Hero action, passive ability, Big Bellower. It's not bad, it's just not necessary. Let's go for Foe Seeker for now. Although, you know what? Chain Lightning would actually be quite solid against the rats, and maybe sometimes Comet of Cassandora, but... yeah, your armor is fine. I'm gonna say let's go for Blade Master for the additional melee attack. Frankly, you need more melee defense, but it's available in this portion of the tree, so we'll wait until that. Oh! A moment. No, we should get Puncture. Sundered Armor, Imbuement, and we got lots of nice traits here. More importantly, Stand and Die, or Die. And the fact that the Bruisers have Stand or Die means we probably want to get a couple Bruisers in the army with the Nobblers, so that the Nobblers have access to that as well. Makes sense. Anyway, skip. I want to double check this. Eliminate the following character. Wait. I thought we killed the Morlock. I guess this is a different Morlock. Morlocks everywhere. End turn. Let's see how that ambush works out. If it works out. And Castelton moves to take Fort Strask. Good for him, I suppose. And the rats... oh, the rats decided to attack him. Interesting. What you want, buddy? Trade agreement? I mean... I'm not sure that we want a trade agreement with you in particular. We probably will set up some trade agreements to get a little bit of cash flow, but not necessarily that one. Dungrunt is running around. Engineer's Knapsack Reload. That could potentially be interesting. Eliminate Vashnar Death Metal. Oh, it's really far though. A Brutal Business base weapon damage plus 20 for all armies of all factions. This is actually really good for the rats and not so good for us, because...
the greenskins have come knocking, man-eaters!
Oh, we finally have our quest. We will read this when we do the battle. I want actual man-eaters in our army for when we do this, because it's our only quest, and it feels like Golgi should have his signature units there. Now, speaking of Golgi, do we risk the camp? I don't see anybody at Help It, and it is discovered. And you, oh, don't tell me that counted as raiding. It did count as raiding. Oh, for the love of camps, please stop that. Let's get you some ogre bulls and anything. You know what? Let's get 2 and 2. I just want to build some stuff that's reasonably quick so that the camp is filled with units, so that it's a little bit less likely to get attacked. Then you're gonna go into ambush stance, I guess. Or, I mean, we could travel a tiny bit further with the tunneling stance, but I think we're still gonna go to Praag. And aha, there's Throt, alright. Well, let's hope that he attempts to return to Praag or something and we can get him. We want his defeat trait. Next up, camp. Is there anything else to build? No, no. Oh, actually there is. We just need the meat transfer. Fair enough. Let's do meat transfer from Mr. Golgi. Let's do like that, and to Northern Camp. This is where we're investing most of that. And I guess we should invest a little bit into the other camp. This is the important one. Alright, get that Mournfang building up and running, and get the Guthenge. Yes. Very nice. Alright, now, how about the recruitment here? The global is being taken up, and the local is being taken up. So I guess you're not going to replace anybody. At least not yet. You are near to next tier, and then you, my friend. Offer to the Great Maw, Feasting Frenzy. Oh, it'll only activate on next turn. I mean, otherwise we'd have to cross the river, which would be kind of annoying. And go right here. Right to the edge of the water, and then we'll use the underway stance next turn. Jump over this. There's also Pottery and Beckhofen, so if we attack Draika, we can get some mileage out of that. Alright, techs are good, I believe. Still heading towards that Razor Sharp. Really gotta lose that Feral Rage from these guys. And I don't think there's anything else to do but end the turn and see if we can't go. Okay, wait, I lied. We got the heroes to move. So Bruiser up here, and Grout, I was gonna put you into Gaunt's army. You have that Nobbler Kicker trait, and assuming, just double checking, that we have no additional hero capacities, which we do not, I guess we wait. Alright, skip, end turn. Alright, come on, Throt, don't run. I mean, he probably will. But Castalton backed off, so he might be a little bit more opportunistic about it. We shall see. Oh, I wonder what the, what this does for us. +1 capacity for hunters. Yeah, anything that gives us additional capacity is worth our time, so we'll probably do it. There's Throt. Is he too far to catch? Most likely. Most likely. But we'll give him a shot. I think what he'll do is he'll run like this, but we could try to move this way and move him into the appropriate direction. Alright, come on. Alright, stop. Ah, it's too far. Just a teensy bit too far. Alright, go into ambush right beside him and... oh, well, we can reach Prague either way. Alright, Fortress Trosk Camp. You are building up. Dungrut is nearby, but I don't think he by himself can deal with this. What's Malachai's defeat trait? It's probably a ranged defeat trait, isn't it? But we'll have Ogre Pistols, which means that we'll still have uses for it. You, sir, are... wait, did I not... oh, I turned Feasting Frenzy off. Oh, why did I do Feasting Frenzy? All-consuming stomachs, that's what we want. And... why can we not confirm the offering? Do we not need to be in any stance? A moment. There we go. Okay, I pressed all-consuming stomachs, right? Huh. Maybe I misclicked. Well, whatever. Not a big deal. Let's keep moving southward. Mood is all the way down here. Let's see if we've got anything in the Empire's breadbasket for us. Either way, we have to head down to find Scrag, so... And we probably should get a hero just to travel all the way to Goldtooth. Also, you get ready to help out with your bruising. Wait, no. Remamute the Corrupted. I see you. Try to assassinate that guy. Heck, we can even assassinate you. Anybody. Just assassinate somebody, please. Vashnar Death Metal, I think it's too far for us, so we're going to deal with this right now. Wintertooth really wants our help. We do want that camp construction cost, but our current situation should be dealt with shortly. Assuming that we have nothing else to build, which is a lie. Get hunter capacity, bruiser capacity. Start with hunters. We want the hunters leveling up as fast as possible because it takes them a while to get to their Stonehorn mounts. Alright, let's end the turn. Let's see if Thurot comes out to play. I really don't mind skipping... There we go. He's near to Praag. I really don't mind skipping through a few turns like this because it just gets us closer to our proper man-eaters for Golgi's army. Hey, there we go. We didn't even need to chase them. Isn't that beautiful? Alright. Grow your forces. Free rag banner for us. Leadership. Boot out to greenskins. Capture and occupy Black Pit. Okay. Probably not going to go over there, but we'll see. Now, here's the question. I guess we want Thurot to come in as a reinforcement. Prague is unfortunately a walled settlement, but probably is the best way to do it, because I'm willing to bet he'll run. Are also, yeah, we're out of range of the camp already, damn. And close to feed, eh? Now, what's the likelihood that he'd actually attack us here? I'm wondering if he'd fight us if we tried to draw out the garrison. Do we risk it? Just out of curiosity, I just want to see here. I feel like it would be more fun to fight this as a field battle once again. They don't have warp bomb or really any range, but of course they'd have their towers, but I think we'll just attack. I don't want to risk breaking the siege and attacking Thurot, because who knows, he runs away and then it just doesn't work for us. Let's see. You go all the way down here. And okay, this is all fine.
We will.
And we're closing in upon the moot. Let's see if there's anything there. But in the meantime, it's time to fight again. Fight more rats, which is always the ticket. Go.
Let's show them what you do for a living! Killing!
Alrighty, that does seem to be his favorite speech, as Golgi does seem to give that speech more than any of the others. Anyway, here we go. Once again, another rat horde, and this time we've got Thurot the Unclean himself, as well as Gorich and a few elite units in Thurot's stack to take care of, though we'll be fighting them at a different time than the rest of the enemy settlement. We will, however, start by softening up said settlement, preparing the way for Golgi and his man-eaters' arrival, and by destroying the towers and breaching those walls as well. With a combination of Stonebreaker, Earth Shatter, Stone Shatter, Wall Breaker. I keep forgetting the name of that ability. It's because I'm pretty sure that the Chaos ability has a different name, even though that's the exact same ability. But anyway, it looks like the enemy is going to get annoyed at our lead belchers at least a little bit and summon its units of clan rats right on top of them. Fortunately, we kept both of our elite units, our 2 units of man-eaters here specifically for this, as we don't want the man-eaters to get overrun and damaged. And the man-eaters quickly send those clan rats scurrying, though it looks like they will take a little bit of damage from one of the enemy fort towers as they do. Fortunately, the fort towers are falling one by one. Looks like the second one is just about done, and we'll switch to the others while we start fighting Thurot the Unclean, who just arrived on field. Thurot is on his brood horror. Looks like he has a packmaster on a brood horror as well, and Gorich is here as well. Funnily enough, Gorich likely to be the bigger threat as compared to Thurot. He can dish out a lot of damage. On the other hand, Gorge or Throt has the Throt has regen, so he might take longer to bring down. I guess we'll see. Anyway, it looks like, wow, this is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Look at that. All three of them head towards our three heroes. Gorge heads towards our Bruiser. Looks like the Packmaster headed towards Golgi. And Gorge is trying his spin to win a damn. Gorge makes even an Ogre Bruiser look tiny by comparison. That's a big boy. Gorge has such a fantastic model too. Gotta love all the awesome models Skaven have. Hard to beat Gorge and help hit abominations. Anyway, while those two were going for our tougher melee lords, it looks like Throt himself decided to go after the butcher instead, which is going to be a lot more fragile. Unfortunately for Throt, he got completely surrounded by pigback riders with their anti-large and quickly loses about half his HP. Though I do imagine the loss of the armor from the Curse of the Midnight Wind isn't helping much, because that allows the pigback riders to actually do significant damage to him as well. Alright, in the meantime, we still have Golgi versus the enemy Packmaster here, who's down to about half HP. Taking a little bit of a while to do, but of course he does have regen on that Brood Whore. Gorge still embroiled in a fight with the Bruiser, all the while the Rats and the Rat Ogres fight the Nobblers and the Real Ogres and the Ogre Ogres. It's all Ogre. And how's Gorge looking? Gorge is healing up pretty nicely by the looks of it, and has still only lost about a quarter of his HP, as compared to our Bruiser, who's below half now. Kind of interesting. Maybe I should have sent, Golgi specifically to hunt down Gorge. Anyway, looks like Golgi has finally managed to, if not kill off, at least send the Packmaster shattering. He's down to about 10% HP and has reached his healing cap as well. And in fact, Throt the Unclean has as well. And Throt is broken while Gorge continues his fight. You definitely have to be careful there when he uses his spin to win ability. That could be a significant amount of damage. Trying to soften him up a little bit with all those daggers coming in from our Noblar Trapper Regiment of Renown, while the Lead Belchers are done with the towers now and are ready to fire at the enemy Night Runner Slingers. Molder Clanstone comes down, but it won't help Throt, and it certainly won't help this Packmaster, who looks to be one hit away from destruction. It does look like we need a little bit more in the way of attack on Golgi. It did take him quite a while to bring a Packmaster down. Though I do imagine all the other Ogres getting in his way is probably what, probably didn't help all that much. One's got 57 melee defense. I mean, the Brute Whores are a very tanky mount. Regen plus high melee defense, so not surprising. And Ogres getting each other's way in combination with all that probably worked decently well for the Rats. On the right side with the two Brood Horror units out of the picture, it's just down to trying to get rid of Gorge, who, there's his spin to win. And what's he at here? 32 kills and 14k damage. Solid. Solid work from Gorge. And on top of that, we still got a unit of Wolf Rats, a unit of Rat Ogres, and the Mutant Rat Ogre, and that still has to make their way onto the field. The Lead Belchers, fortunately, are taking care of those Night Runners with slings with gusto. Gorge still hovering at 75% HP, but it looks like at last Throt the Unclean's Brood Horror explodes and Throt disappears. Another swing should take the Packmaster out. There we go. Man, those guys took a long time, but at least we were able to trap them in the same way that the Ogres were getting in each other's way. They were able to trap the relatively large models of the Brood Horrors. The Rat Ogres have arrived for some Ogre-on-Ogre-ish action, and we're going to start by having our range units soften up that Mutant Rat Ogre, who, between the Lead Belchers and those Nobbler Trappers, loses about half of its HP before it can even close the distance. It does try to move in to help Gorge, who is looking to lead the remnants of this Skaven army. But by the looks of it, with Golgi hitting him, Gorge finally starts losing quite a bit of HP. Up to nearly 20k damage now, very nice. And those clan stones or molder clan stones continue to come down. Is it what, physical resistance was it? You know, healing, that's much better. Oh, well that's not, that's not great. We're really helping Gorge and the mutant rat ogre, who also looks tiny compared to Gorge, stay in the fight. Man, I gotta say, this fight would have been very difficult if the rest of these guys had decided to join us, but instead they cower behind the walls while the Master Molder and his favorite pets get destroyed outside the city. To be fair, however, that feels very Skavenly appropriate, doesn't it? Just watch what happens. If the enemy starts losing, if we start losing, that's where lawfully the rats would come in to help win. But if we start winning, they're safer behind their walls, and why get killed, right? I gotta say, I'm very impressed with Gorge here. Now surrounded by Golgi's man-eaters and Golgi himself, he's down to less than a quarter of his HP. His healing cap is there, and I think at last he will be routing together with the mutant rat ogre. Ooh. Definitely took a lot of effort. I love hearing his arms spin. And trundling sound. Good sound design. And one last spin, but that one was a spin to lose, as that was Gorge's death animation. And I imagine if we should destroy Clan Molder here, we will not be seeing him again. Golgi also reaches the mutant rat ogre, who he hunts down, and with that, Throt the Unclean's main stack is destroyed. That said, we were close to full HP, and we took pretty heavy damage here, and we still are at about 50-50 in terms of balance of power. And the entire stack and garrison here are still at full HP, so we're still gonna have to work on him. Now we have made breaches in the walls, the gate is down, and 2 walls are breached. So we should be able to get right on in there, and Golgi will lead the charge. Fortunately, unlike our Bruiser, who had such a tough time fighting Gorge, Golgi has not yet reached his healing cap. While he was taking his sweet time dishing out damage to Throt the Unclean and to that Packmaster, they were not doing much damage to him, mostly due to their defensive nature. Although, to be fair, Throt the Unclean isn't like the normal Packmasters and Brute Horrors, because he can actually hit pretty darn hard. Not as defensive as them, I mean. Anyway. Alright, Golgi ran ahead of the army and is just having a fun time obliterating clan rats and Skaven slaves, none of which pose any kind of threat to him. And we could have probably left him in here to do this for quite the while, just to rack up a massive amount of kills, but it would have also taken a long time. Time to get everybody else in. Here comes the Bruiser, charging right into the horde of rats. I love that body check charge, sending units flying all over the place, as the Nobblers charge through the breach, and the Ogres get ready to follow suit as well. Time to work through all these guys. Fortunately though, while there are a lot of defenders, they don't have nearly as many elites as Throt's main stack did, so we hopefully aren't going to be as concerned, even if we are at half damage. The main issue / concern here is going to be a combination of the enemy Skaven Slave Slingers and Night Runners and those arrow towers, in which will start to do damage to all of our Ogre Bulls, and several of our Ogre Bulls are heavily damaged as well, so... We split our 2 more elite units, our 2 units of man-eaters, which were sort of held back in reserve and are thus in pretty decent shape, to the sort of 2 blobs of rats that we are fighting. 1 unit of man-eaters with iron fists here, and then the other unit with the unit of the Golgi's man-eaters out here together with Golgi, and holding back a pretty massive pile of rats who are attempting to make their way up this hill. Alright, I believe that's a Curse of the... Nope, I was about to say Curse of the Midnight Wind, but a Helm of Discord instead. Where's the Helm of Discord? Where's the Helm of Discord from, if you're wondering? It's in Golgi's level 12 ability that gives him that random ancillary thing. Which is how he got it, because we don't have a Helm of Discord, it's just that random and gambling thing that he's got. Anyway, looks like a wind blast clears a decent pile of the rats there, and more of our ogres are making their way into the fray. Although it looks like we're taking a little bit of damage over on the right flank, even as the left flank and does manage to make quite a lot of headway. The bounce power has started to climb in our favor now, going from 50-50 to about 60, maybe even 65% in our favor. But there's still many a rat to bonk. Now I'm wondering, exploding all the tiny little rats into bits when you're hitting them too hard, it's gonna be hard to eat them when they're just sort of, you know, exploded bits all over the place. I wonder if the ogres have to be careful in the way in which that they kill them. Anyway, once again in the same manner that Golgi held the bridge in, I believe, the first episode or the second episode, I don't remember. He is holding this particular hill now, essentially by himself, while the other units continue to do their thing. But fortunately, and once again, I don't think anything left is actually a threat to Golgi, even if it is a threat to the rest of our army. Speaking of, this unit of Ogre Bull's Iron Fists down to 4 units and are backing up. They're heavily damaged. Another unit is nearly done for, but it does look like with Golgi being able to distract the units over on the left flank, everybody else, including his own man-eaters, will join the right flank and break through those rats that remain. Now, did the size of the ogre sort of standing over everybody and the sort of uniform color scheme that we've got going due to the Skaven corruption everywhere, it's kind of hard to tell the rats apart from the nobblers. There we go, chase them all down. Battle isn't quite over yet, but I do believe the bounce power is definitely very much in our favor. Nice shot from Golgi, the enemy lord, which is a master assassin, tried to rush towards him. Golgi fired, knocking him down. The assassin decided, no, you know what, never mind. And attempts to back off. And here comes Golgi, just as the assassin gets a few units of clan rats or Skaven, no, night runners, to try to bail him out. I like the fact that the assassin kept a unit of night runners with him. Golgi activates that ability he has once more, and the Bow of the Asp is giving him poison as well. So between the Free Helm of Discord and the Bow of the Asp, it's a fairly considerable set of debuffs that he has access to. I love that mass that he has that allows him to rush through the melee like this. It makes me think that if we can find and kill Tamarkan, it may be a good idea to do so. Tamarkan gives the Lord, like, I want to say it gives him like 20% mass or something like that, doesn't it? Tamarkan used to have that thing which gave you additional heroes, right? When he was just released. But I think it switched to mass, because I remember using that on Serena Katrin. Anyway, as soon as Golgi defeats the Master Assassin, who shatters, the rest of his army gives up. It does look like we did take additional damage on our Saber Tusks, which tried to sort of loop around and go after the enemy range units, but because of their rampage, they took damage as well. Not a big deal though, since we're researching that anti-rampage trait, they should be pretty good. And we'll see how effective they are in more or less all Beast Army later on. Anyway, we don't technically need to chase, as this is a settlement battle and everybody will be destroyed other than those units from Throt who escaped. Lovely, lovely fight. Oh, not as much meat as I would have thought, but what a great fight. The rats certainly showed up, especially Gorich, who was just such a hassle to bring down compared to the 3.3k damage dealt by throughout the unclean 24k damage on Gorich. That spin to win certainly paying dividends and hurting a lot of our Ogre units. Lots of money, decent bit of meat, though our income is very negative right now. We do have to be careful as I've started to build perhaps a few too many units that are expensive. That's, I think, what the why the next army has to be Nobbler-centric, since they're dirt cheap. The man-eaters did fantastic. The well, actually, the organ gunners did fairly decent, despite the fact that we used most of their ammunition on the enemy walls and towers, but they also did shoot up a few range units, as well as the mutant rat ogre of Throts. Anyway, a lovely little fight. We are going to... Ow! It's basically worthless? Well, that's just rude. I guess gift to client. Eh. Whatever. Also didn't check whether it had had marble. Construction costs only in this particular location. It does make money, but once again, I don't really want to bother holding it. I'm surprised that was barely worth it client satisfaction-wise, though at the end of the day, we've already essentially completed the contract, and this will just be bonus stuff. We'll still take help it, I think, assuming that Castalton or Malachi... What's the likelihood Malachi attempts to besiege it? You know what? Let's march stance over there as quick as we can, because we want to potentially actually keep it. Go here. And let's just hope that Malachi, when he is not in whatever stance he's in, can't actually reach it. Now, you... What's the likelihood that you'll succeed? Additional 5% chance. We could waste a single point on it. Let's do it. We need it for Mr. Bragg. Nowler Treasurer, another campfire storyteller. Enemy killed in battle. Hit points plus 10% for Golgi. Whack-a-rat. Morlock finally been killed off, so there's that cashback, and there's that camp construction as well. A satisfied client. Golgi has a potion of strength, and what's the likelihood of doing this? 23% only? Damn. That is not a high percentage. What about... Damn, I thought I saw a Frost Maiden there, but I no longer see her. I also don't want this guy to die, especially considering he has that black powder of plenty, which is pretty nice. Wait, not assault units, wrong one. Gotta give it a try anyway. Carry out a successful assassination. Come on, man. For once, may the luck be upon us. The luck was upon us. Wow, okay. I was not expecting that at all. Big names unlocked. Longstrider Krog. Good for him. And there we go. I gave this a read last time, and I assume that he isn't unlocked immediately. Either he pops... Oh, he is unlocked immediately. I lied. Hello, alright, let's take a look at this guy. He's got that big old flail hook of his, which is pretty nice, sort of a classic executioner garb of his. He has Foreboding Executioner that will allow execution of units in a combat below a 20% hit point threshold. That would have really been helpful against Mr. Gorich there. As for his skills... I just want to see if there's anything particular for any particular units. Dreaded Aura removes immunity to psychology and applies immunity to psychology for the army. It's kind of interesting, but relatively useless on the man-eaters who have terror anyway, at least under Golgi. It doesn't look like he buffs anybody in particular. What about his big names? Attribute Executor, I don't know what that is. Win a battle against an army with 3 characters. Alright, we'll give that a shot. Unbreakable, enemy leadership reduction, and ward save. Yeah, so it looks like he's just a powerful duelist. Doesn't appear to have anything that would necessitate him being in this particular army, so we could potentially have him be with another army as well. We could even send him out to be with the Nobblers. Alright, you guys let me know how you feel about that. I like your opinions on it. Whether we gotta keep him with Golgi. He doesn't have to have the best of everything, in theory. But I guess we can put him in Golgi's army for now just to level up. Get rid of one of the basic ogre bulls. I mean, we're not going to be keeping basic ogre bulls around after all, so yeah, go here. Alright, and in the meantime, Golgi has also leveled. We should probably try moving towards fight or die. Meaning, out of all this, I'm going to say the lead belchers. And the other option would be to get a few stone horns, but I feel like it's not necessary. I feel like the lead belchers will work with the pistols, and we'll make an all-ranged army, but this isn't going to be that. Minus 3k, eh? Alright, wait, can you global recruit? You can. Alright, I'm gonna say let's get you some pigback riders now and global recruit, and... oh. Is it too risky to move? I think it's too risky to move for a turn. We're gonna separate this into 2 armies later, but for now, let's do this. And hopefully Scrag is alive. He does occasionally die, but it's relatively rare, so I think we'll be okay. Anyway, the rest of that looks good. I don't think we're going... oh, right. This guy's probably gonna declare war to take this. We could give it to these guys. Frankly, I don't really care. How much money would you give us for this tariff crack? 717. Now it's basically worthless because we... yeah.
The great orthodoxy backs you.
A little bit more money. Yeah, sure, why not? Have it. It's not being super useful to us. Also, out of curiosity, what's our next contract going to be like? So this one's going to be complete. Imperial Wardens... oh. We could teleport to Cathay from here. There's some really good defeat traits out there. All the Cathan lords have really good defeat traits. Village has a great defeat trait. And there's a bunch of other Chaos factions over there. So we could teleport to Client. Oh man, we just made the camp here. I guess we'll have to set up a new camp over there. I kind of like this idea, but you know what? I'm gonna put this into a vote. Should we teleport to Cathay after this? I mean, we can always come back later, but it might be fun to fight some foes over there. Of all kinds. After Hell Pit, of course. I would also like Archaon's defeat trait and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna put this to a vote. I'll probably link it in the description below if I remember to do so. So I hope I have at this point. Anyway, I should shut up and continue. Let's get you... miscast base chance reduction. Sounds like you're miscasting a lot, but nonetheless... oh. You know what? I lied. Chain Lightning, at least 1 point in it, and then we'll get Foe Seeker. Your mana's not full, so we don't need to worry about increasing the mana as yet. You are trying to get standard die. Let's get you movable bulk for your power up, and then we'll head into standard die next. And I believe we're good to end the turn. Unless, wait, is there meat stuff we can do? I had to phrase it like that. So Nakari's ears perked up somewhere. Wait, does Nakari have ears? I'm blanking on what Nakari looks like. Look, maybe he just has holes in the sides of his head. Anyway, transfer to Norden Camp. Okay, we gotta be careful. Starting to run out of meat. How much is this contract gonna pay us? Decent bit, but nothing crazy. There was one that was like 4,000. Oh. Wait a second. Check back on your next turn for new contracts, meaning this contract will disappear next turn, won't it? We could complete this right now and take this. You know what? That's going to be the vote. Because if this disappears, we might not get another Cathan contract. And that would be disappointing, wouldn't it? I think it would. Anyway, I transferred it to the Norden Camp. Oh, damn it. Well, you know what, Norden Camp's still gonna need it, so there's still a few things to build here, up to tier 5, but it was the Strauss Camp that I wanted to transfer to. Get you, like... wait, Strauss Camp, there we go. Transfer, like so. Then, that'll now allow us to build the Trapper Huts, which we've been wanting. Let's get the Feastier to Zuel. And we should really want to get the Loot Horde, but... I mean, we want to get everything, but... there's limits. Let's look at the camp bot. Okay, we'll transfer more if we can. Anyway, I'm going to call the episode here, guys. 2 massive battles in this particular episode. Next episode, we'll start off with probably besieging or attacking Hellpit. Ending this contract early and going to Cathay, but I'm going to put this to a vote, so make your voices heard, or if you already have, thank you. And we'll see how that ends up. Next episode, we will... Oh man, I really wanted to see about the moot, but anyway. We'll check out the moot and then continue heading towards Praag as well. Should be a fun time. More ogres to come, as well as the introduction of all those new units we've been itching to make use of. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.